It's in the comics.
What?
It's in the comics. Comics.
You must be out of your goddamn mind.
Let's talk Spider-Man Brand New Day.
It's showtime.
This is why you don't write stupid stories that have to carry on into the legacy of a character. Because certain things didn't flow well because of the limitations they put on themselves or unnecessary limitations. So I feel the stupid writing and stupid storytelling in the second and third Tom Holland Spider-Man movie hindered certain things to flow organically and naturally in this Spider-Man movie. So upon reflection, going to bed, waking up, even before I went to bed, my brother and I were speaking because he saw it yesterday as well. So during the conversation between my brother and I then said, you know what, it really feels like this movie is a 5 out of 10. So that's my final scoring.
Wait a minute.
I feel my highest ranking I can give a movie is, can I watch you again at the cinema and even when you come out on digital or Blu-ray? Can I go again to see your movie with friends or with my partner or even on my own? Can I watch this thing again same day?
That's a good question.
If a movie is really, really good, I'm watching that thing on repeat. Yeah. On repeat, rewinding that scene. The Mask with Jim Carrey, some of the dialogue, some of the one-liners, some of the catchphrases. Alrighty then, smoking. Dude, we were rewinding. Something is so good, you got to take it back. That's how I would rate the thing for my movie-going experience. I'm not saying that's how everyone should. For my movie-going experience, can I watch this thing again?
That boy is good.
My friends and I watched Avengers, the first Avengers twice. Twice. I don't know if he did with Infinity War, but when that thing hit digital,
Woo!
I can watch that thing again and it feels like it's the first time that I've watched it. When it comes to me breaking down certain things about Marvel movies, DC movies, Marvel in particular, especially with my dismay for the second and third Tom Holland Spider-Man movie, it's because they left a peak where they were at before, deliberately, intentionally, and willingly, under the guise of experimentation or expansion or branching out. Nonsense. Absolute nonsense. The story wasn't airtight in the second and third Tom Holland Spider-Man movie. The first one, because it's the first, you let certain things slide. But the story was simple enough to follow straight through. I'm not talking about complex storytelling, but it's so simple that you felt, the emotional beats, the story beats, you felt for Peter Parker at certain points. But when the second one came out, especially after the weight of Avengers Endgame, then you give this guy, you don't know, this powerful technology from Tony Stark. There's no logical story you can give me. Maybe, it could be, might be, what if? No. Very, very stupid. Absolutely stupid storytelling.
Wow, you are mean.
So, for me, chronologically, the second and third Tom Holland Spider-Man movie do not exist at all.
Wait a minute.
It's the first one and then this one for me.
Damn.
And Marvel are very good at lying.
What?
Marvel is very, very good at lying and misleading and whatever. And this is the final movie I will allow theory crafting from certain YouTubers online to affect me anymore. So that's your Emergency Awesome, Heavy Spoilers, and New Rock Stars, and maybe Screen Rant, maybe them.
What do you mean by that?
The way we all theory craft, the way we all partake in this, it could be, might be, and it's nothing to do with what the movie, you can theory craft based on what you know. For example, Kevin Feige said we're going to use this particular comic book storyline or comic book run. Then we can delve into the thing and see which part they're going to use and not use. We can speculate. We can absolutely speculate. But there's so many things that, for example, Savage Hulk. Savage Hulk is so this. It's so Hulk, Savage Hulk. We're going to see Gray Hulk. We're going to see Pink Hulk. We're going to see Purple Hulk. I'm not fussed about the color. When you keep saying these words, savage, if you read this comic book run, the Savage Hulk doesn't think. He gets stronger every time he gets hit. If you shoot at him, he gets angry, and the angrier he gets, the stronger he gets. Savage Hulk.
Get out of here.
You guys haven't let Hulk get loose in your movie universe. This movie, for me, really suffers from the mistakes of the second and third movie.
That's right.
I like the Punisher's inclusion in this story. There's something about Spider-Man and Punisher in the movie. I've not read the comics. But the way the chemistry works, I like it. The only thing I don't like is the no-kill rule.
But why?
How do you play that off when it comes to the Punisher and Spider-Man? Like, does he need to get, I don't know, darts, sleeper dart? How would you balance that off if they were going to do another? I'm not saying they should. I'm just saying what I saw in this movie was cool. That if they decide to do another thing, you have to put them both in a situation where Spider-Man might have to, or maybe I don't know. But because of how Marvel is doing what they're doing so far, I don't have any faith in them moving forward with certain characters. So that's where your emergency awesome, your new rock star, and your heavy spoilers and screen rant will come and say this comic book, Spider-Man and Punisher work together. In this comic book, I don't know if either of them killed in those comic books. So we end up living in the fantasy world where we're creating movies in our headspace that could work well with Tom Holland. Imagine Tom Holland in this. If the studios themselves don't even have faith in their pairing of characters moving forward, then I don't want to sit down and start daydreaming or something that I don't feel the studio has the balls to do. Or I don't want to trust the studio or put my trust or faith in the studio that it hasn't given me any sign that it's planning to push this forward, this pairing, for example, like Deadpool and Wolverine. It's a no-brainer. You're going to do multiple movies. But with this pairing, you'd think that, okay, somewhere down the line, they're thinking Deadpool and Wolverine worked well. Let's not do the Spider-Man and the Punisher pairing in the movies just as it's been in the comics. But because I don't know the comics, I don't know if Spider-Man has ever killed alongside the Punisher in the comic book run. So the things I feel that don't really work well in this movie is the Hulk, for example. It's not done to how everyone has been saying online. If you removed every other secondary character from this movie, can Spider-Man stand on his own with his own Spider-Man villains? Can Tom Holland's Spider-Man stand on his own with his own Spider-Man villain roster? And if you say yes, then why haven't they done that yet?
That's a good question.
Why hasn't Marvel done that yet? They breezed past the Boomerang guy, for example. Just is it to say he's already taken down some of his arch nemesis, and even Tombstone. Tombstone was in the flashback or in a what do you call this thing? In a montage. That's another thing as well with the trailers. They had this is it Keith, the brother who plays the main character in the Gargoyles cartoon? They had him do a voiceover, and that voiceover you hear in the trailer so many times, your brain starts to presume or assume he's going to be in the movie somewhere based on the trailer. So that's misleading. In some way, shape, or form, it's misleading because you're looking to see him somewhere in this movie. So it's misleading. Whether you like it or not, it is misleading. Yeah. I don't have faith in Marvel anymore moving forward, especially with Avengers Doomsday. I thought they were trying to climb back up to the top of that mountain to get to that peak. I feel Avengers Doomsday will be at the base of the mountain. This movie feels like it's in the hole they dug. They just about climbed out of that hole that they dug themselves in from Spider-Man 2 and Tom Holland Spider-Man 2 and 3. I thought they were going to use Jean, for example, as a smart way to undo the spell or to have the spell be broken by using her telepathy to unlock all the memories within Mary Jane and Ned Leeds. And that's why I said some parts of this movie suffer from the mistakes of the second and third Tom Holland Spider-Man movie. And there was even a scene with the Punisher, I don't want to spoil it, we'll talk about this in spoilers, where he does something that, again, undoes the second Spider-Man movie. Completely undoes the second one. And it's a massive, in fact, it undoes the second and third Spider-Man movie. I have to keep saying this, sorry, the second and third Tom Holland Spider-Man movies, just so people don't get it confused. And this is what makes Sam Raimi's Spider-Man movies really, really good, especially this first and the second one. The third one, whatever. But I prefer the first and second one, if not the second one more. In fact, both are done so well. The villains were done so well in both of them. And they weren't from any other alternate universe. They weren't from the DC universe. They weren't from a movie that we've seen. And these are they're from Spider-Man's Rogues Gallery, the Green Goblin and Dr. Octavius. It is watching these movies that really make me appreciate those movies a lot more. I haven't even mentioned The Amazing Spider-Man. I feel they could have done that a lot much better. I feel the first one was cool. Mm-hmm. The second was poor. For my movie-going experience, I preferred the first Amazing Spider-Man movie over the second one. And I feel there's a lot of things that worked well in the first one, a lot of things that didn't. But shout out to Sam Raimi and the Tobey Maguire combination. That was beautifully done. There was no external help from a third-party character. It was literally, we've written this story around these characters and the transformation of these characters. And everyone mattered. It wasn't just the main guy and the bad guy. Everyone mattered. Mary Jane, Green Goblin's son, Aunt May, Peter, everyone mattered. Everyone mattered. So one last time, 5 out of 10. I was thinking 6 and 7 yesterday. I woke up and thought, nah, especially after the convo with my brother, it's a 5 out of 10. If you remove certain characters, I wonder if a Spider-Man movie can survive. I wonder if a Tom Holland Spider-Man movie can survive on its own without any other Marvel superheroes included.
I don't know.
I don't know what Marvel is afraid of, sticking with the Rogues Gallery without having to include another superhero on the side to help Spider-Man. I wasn't worried about this movie being overcrowded with different heroes. I just thought, you know what, we'll see how they write each character in and what their roles are. But thanks to their nonsense in part 2 and 3, we're having to start all over again with Mary Jane. Whereas if you hadn't done that stupid, dumb, incompetent decision, what would Mary Jane look like today in love with Peter Parker? What would Ned Leeds look like today as the guy in the chair with Peter Parker? What challenges would they experience together? Yes, they've gone through this and gone through that. Aunt May passed away. The more reason why you need your friends together. But it's like they don't think ahead anymore. It's just to do now. And then Feige has the balls to say, no more quantity, it's quality. Bitch, ain't nobody asking you for less. We're saying write smart.
You ain't lying.
We're asking you to write smarter. We're not saying less. In fact, we would like more.
More?
But you're making it look like it's impossible to write smarter and do more at the same time. How? How? We're asking for smart storytelling. The screening I went to, some people try to clap. People are like, yo, clapping for what? Clapping for what? The first half of this movie was dull.
Damn.
It was dull. It got better in the second half. Then when it came to the arachnid thing or your arachnid powers, my brother had to ground me and say, yo, did you see anything come from that thing? I was like, oh, you're right. No. His AI voice over Eve was making it look like, based on how the movie was pushing it too, oh, if you don't check on this arachnid part of you, oh, you about to lose your... But they didn't push. You didn't push the envelope. You introduced the thing, but you didn't push. Savage Hulk, but you didn't push. The Hand, you downplayed them. The Hand, they downplayed the Hand. Nah, the way they were doing things in the movie, I was like, that looks cool visually. But the way you're making them do the thing is you're underplaying them. Because if you remove this element, especially with that part of the movie, are they that capable? That's the word I use without spoilers. Are they that capable without this scenario? You want to make certain things or certain characters feel like if nobody steps in,
Let me explain.
like the Titans in the movie Immortals, if you let them loose, my goodness. And it wasn't just lip service. They showed you why those dudes were kept in bondage. They showed you why those Titans, even though it's a wrong iteration of how the Titans should look, outside of that, that movie didn't just say Titans. They showed you why they were kept where they were kept for a reason. That's how you pay off lip service. You don't just talk. You talk and then you showcase what you're talking about. So the Hand, underplayed, underused, misused. Oh my goodness! And I thought they were going to come in a clean way or in a secretive way. There was just one scene. Oh, there they are. I was like, what?
Come on, don't bullshit me.
Misleading in the trailers, dude.
That's right.
I wasn't expecting certain things to occur in a way like, oh, this is going to lead up into Avengers Doomsday. But I feel the post-credit scene should have at least showed a good 30 seconds to a minute. A good 30 seconds to a minute of something that will attach or will be part of the Avengers Doomsday movie in some way, shape, or form. In some way, shape, or form. Because some people like myself are watching Marvel like, yo, you've got one last shot, one last chance, and your audience is going to slowly be done with you.
I don't know.
You're going to get people in, but your audience is going to be done with you if you're not careful. I was even thinking to myself, I wonder how many people came out to see Spider-Man because they were Marvel fans and not just Tom Holland fans and Spider-Man fans. Not Marvel, it's a different thing entirely. They're Tom Holland fans, they're Spider-Man fans, and they're Marvel MCU fans or Marvel Studio fans. So I wonder what the ratio is of each group of people that came out to see this movie, because sold out tickets, I'm like, yeah, a lot of teens came to see Tom Holland. It's definitely better than the Thunderbolts movie from my movie-going experience, and it's definitely better than the Sam Wilson Captain America movie, for sure.
You ain't lying.
I would rather watch this Spider-Man Brand New Day than those two trash movies. God damn! It is far better. For my movie-going experience, I have to reiterate. It is far better than the Thunderbolts movie, the Sam Wilson, I don't know, am I saying that name wrong? It feels like I'm saying it wrong. The most recent Captain America movie, the Tom Holland second and third Spider-Man movie. I rank this over those four movies easily. Despite the bad bits, I would rather watch this than those four movies. Because those four movies are annoying and incompetent. This one has some level of incompetency, but not all the way through, where I can't stand watching it. There were some scenes I was like, oh, that's pretty cool, emotional, cool. Some things didn't pay off well. Where they thought people were going to laugh in the cinema, one or two jokes didn't bang. Mr. Punisher, I enjoy his inclusion. His acting still on point. There's certain one-liners that he dropped that I like. The audience laughed as well. I'm glad no one clapped, because some people try to force clap. People are like, no, you can force clap what you want. Ain't nobody, these aren't the droids you're looking for, bitch. Nobody was clapping.
Damn.
I can't believe I was going to give it a 7 out of 10.
Tired of this shit.
If you don't include any other Marvel heroes, what would this movie be like without the other Marvel heroes? Or any other Marvel characters, any other Marvel hero characters? So that means Bruce Banner as Bruce Banner or Bruce Banner as Hulk, whichever. Just remove those guys. Even remove Punisher. Even if you could say, oh, in the comics, Spider-Man and Punisher work together. Yeah, let's try and do that at a later date. Because you say that, but Marvel even hasn't had the balls to do that. Whether it's a Sony issue, cool. So we can sit here and say in the comics for sure. But since Sony has a problem, just like Universal has a problem with whatever rights for Hulk, it's all gravy. What I'm saying is, can this character survive on his own with his own rogues gallery? They rushed the Shocker guy in the first Spider-Man, Tom Holland Spider-Man movie. They also rushed the Scorpion in this movie. He didn't feel like he was a threat. Like, oh, this guy needed to be in the movie. I can see why they put him in the movie. I can see how they wrote the story and wove the story around him being a problem for Spider-Man. And this is the guy that was a menace for Spider-Man in the cartoons, especially the 90s Spider-Man cartoons. That guy, some of the rogues galleries of Spider-Man were very, even on screen when I see them, I'm like, oh my, not this guy again. Each time you saw these characters, you'd be like, you'd have this anxiety like, oh, not this dude. He's always putting Spider-Man through the ropes. He got to change his web cartridge, you know, because it's a headache. And Peter has to figure out how to defeat this guy. The Hydro guys, Sandman, even Mysterio. Dude, each time those guys showed up, you're like, oh, even Kingpin, oh, hell no. This guy, not this guy again. That's what you want, son. You want to be like, oh, I don't even know how Peter's going to survive this one, or how Peter's is gonna stop this one. You included some super arachnid ability or his mutation, whatever. You included that, but you didn't follow through, son. You didn't follow through, man. So it's do I want to even deduct the point? I bet when I do the spoilers, it's going to be 4 out of 10.
Damn.
I bet when I do the spoilers, it's going to feel like a 4 out of 10.
Wow, you are mean.
What's with you and these introduction of threats and then humor?
Let me explain.
You introduce a problem and then you underplay the problem with humor. Spider-Man having his mask on, or, moving his mask a little bit to drink the coffee or whatever he was drinking, that was funny. I like that. But Spider-Man with his mask on and his trunks on only, he's half naked and he's in the water with Yelena. Is that necessary?
That's a good question.
Good God, is that important? Come on, son. Come on. I'm done.
This is just a moment.
Let's not forget, Yelena is older than Peter Parker.
That's right.
That is weird, fam. yo, you can spec you can whatever you in the comics, yeah. Sure thing, body. Moving the needle forward. You're telling a story, a linear story that seems to have some form of branches here and there, but it's going to come back into the main part of the story. Do we need to see Yelena in the water with Peter Parker?
That's a good question.
That woman is not the same age as Peter Parker. Let's not get it twisted. So that scene was visually uncomfortable to sit through.
Does not compute. Does not compute. Does not compute.
That scene was so bad, jarring. I was like, do we need this? You've introduced something. Let us get involved. Don't throw us off the scent with stupidity. Be smart with your writing. Be very selective with your scenes, with the scenes you include. You're throwing us off the scent, man. There's no secret gadgets. There's no device. These are Avengers. You don't have a device?
That's a good question.
Nick Fury had a pager for Captain Marvel. You should have something, even if it's Spider-Man. At least let Tom Holland have a thing like his own self-made device that he's made to be able to contact Yelena only, that no other frequency can hop on and off that frequency. Instead, you had to write a whole long unnecessary scene where she made him take off his clothes.
What the fuck is the deal? Come on, son.
It ain't even that the water had some healing elements. Oh my gosh. The fight choreography at some point with the hand, I liked. I wouldn't say enjoyed. I liked enough to say, you know what? I would like to see that in a different movie, in a different story with different characters, not in the Marvel universe, because they wouldn't do it right. In a world where it's like John Wick, where the Kung Fu is done well, the martial arts is done well, or in a world like The Raid or Ong Bak, where the martial arts is respected and done well, I would like to see what they did with the hand in those environments, not in any Marvel movie or any Hollywood movie, because these guys don't know what the frick they're doing anymore. All they want is money, and that's it. The Jean thing was cool at times. The way the bodies look when she's jumping, I want to chuck that to the side and just say it's because she's not fully trained by Xavier, for example. So she doesn't know how to leave the body unbothered. Like when she body jumps, there's a thing they all do. It's already in the trailers, but it's too much visually for people like myself. But I imagine once you train someone like that to use their abilities, there'll be a cleaner way to do that in the future. So I chuck that to the side and just say it's because my thinking is, oh, she's untrained, so she doesn't know how to leave her host in a clean manner, so she doesn't draw unnecessary attention to her when she's body hopping. Or you could say because she was so anxious each time because of what she was on the hunt for example, then that's why she's like, I don't even care who I'm jumping into or how I leave them. This is what I'm looking for. So again, it's either. But hopefully moving forward, if they're going to use her character, consistently, and that's going to be an ability she uses, I hope they use their common sense to say, now she's training, she will have a better handle on how she leaves a host onto another host. Mary Jane and Ned Leeds, I feel there should have been it's like a hindrance to Peter Parker's growth and progress. And I get the theme of the movie. I get what the movie is trying to say with all these other characters involved. But you didn't have to do what you did in the second and third Tom Holland Spider-Man movie, where you're having to kind of undo that in this movie or rectify it. It's your fault. Because moving forward, you need to be able to be brave enough to say, in this world, Spider-Man has Ned and Mary Jane. Despite losing Aunt May, he has the both of them. And what does that look like when he has his best friends, or his best friend and his lover helping him out being a superhero? What does that look like for them? Do they need tools? Do they need some gadgets? Do you have to include them in every Spider-Man story? Do you want to include a new love interest for Spider-Man? Do we need to see all that? Is it necessary? Is what I'm saying. It's like they don't know what to do, so they have to include the whole spell casting, memory wipe, whatever in the second. It's like you didn't have, man. Yeah, spoilers coming ahead real soon. It's going to take me a while to edit this video and upload, but spoilers coming real soon. Goodness, 5 out of 10, man. It's going to be a 4 out of 10 when I'm done.
You serious?
Yeah, I'm feeling it. It's going to be a 4 out of 10.
Damn.
Let me know what you feel in the comment section. I bet people are like, oh, you're sort of a hater. You're a James Gunn hater. Yeah, you like Zack Snyder, and you don't like Marvel. You're not a Marvel fan.
You don't even read comics. You're not a real fan. You shouldn't even have your channel. That's how you guys sound.
You people giggled and laughed in the cinema where there's a grown woman telling a masked, costumed superhero, take off your clothes and get in the water with me.
Oh, you're just reading too much into it, man. You have a dirty mind. It's not that serious, buddy. It's just a movie. Don't take it so... It's just a movie. Okay, buddy? Okay, all right. You need some therapy, buddy. It's just a movie.
Golly, what? Where did you guys come from? What culture did you guys... What planet did you guys emerge from? That you think that was a... People were laughing. I said, you're laughing? That was a very uncomfortable scene.
You ain't lying.
But we needed to get the story going, and we need it for laughs in the cinema.
No, you don't.
That's right.
Need is a very strong and heavy word. No, you do not. You could have had a device. The same way he spoke to the lady on the phone, you can easily get Yelena on the phone and talk to her on a secret line that no one can trace. Instead, you said, get your... Oh! Yeah, spoilers coming, son. That's me done. That's my review. Final rating, 5 out of 10. Spider-Man Brand New Day is far better than the Thunderbolts movie.
Damn.
The most recent Captain America movie.
That's right.
Far better than the second and third Tom Holland Spider-Man movie. I'd rather watch this one any day, anytime, rather than those 4 movies that I mentioned. Any day, anytime. I wouldn't watch this twice in the cinema.
What do you mean by that?
It has some level of rewatchability, yes, but I would not pay twice for this in the cinema. It ain't Matrix rewatch value. It ain't T2 rewatch value. It is not Aliens rewatch value in any way, shape, or form. But I'd rather watch this movie rather than those 4 that I mentioned before. I've, of course, been your one and only multi-potentialite, neurodivergent host,
The Kosmic Jedi, signing out.